We have four buttons like left, top, bottom, right, X, Y, A, B, like gamepad. As you can see, I already have these icons in the project. This is an important field as ID. When we select any option, we have to use this ID to notify our dialog component. And of course, text. First, let's save always our ID. And then enable our button. Save ID corresponding to the button, then make the button enabled, and then set label. Okay, we could implement input events right here, like but I am gonna just use mouse click. As I said, we need to provide our answer ID corresponding to this button through dialog component. That's all, and now our UE is ready. So let's add it. Just a reminder, we implemented here player answers controller. You also may do it in player character, for example, blueprint. This is also simple. Reset buttons. And here, just like in custom events, we have to cast manually our byte type to our enumeration. For our buttons, we use this event we just created, set button. And short text, because if you remember, that's it, our short text. As for this, I want to activate this option without any interface. Let's add a very small delay to make it just look better. So here our interface, everything is ready. Here we have a condition, init cut skin finished. Let's disable it.
Many years have passed, but you haven't changed at all, Uncle.
And little is left of the girl I knew.
That's why I'm here, for your help.
I heard the rumors 3 days ago. Should I believe what they said about you?
Okay, I saw a problem here. When our autoplay worked, it worked fine, but input widget was shown for a second. So we need to hide it. We don't want to see it in this situation. Let's add some short delay before we show our interface. So we add a delay and want to make sure our UE wasn't disabled while we wait. Okay, let's try now. Again, remember our camera, it doesn't work yet. So let's try.
Many years have passed, but you haven't changed at all, Uncle.
And little is left of the girl I knew.
That's why I'm here, for your help.
I heard the rumors 3 days ago. Should I believe what they said about you?
Okay, fine. Just one thing. Yes, now it's text is visible. We are done with interface, and now let's create our procedural cameras. We already have here two functions, initialize cameras and update cameras. Here we are gonna spawn our camera actors and here set the position. Let's create blueprint. Camera actor. Though we are not gonna change anything inside, so we could use default camera actor. But for example, we could set up, let's decrease field of view, for example, to 75. Init cameras. So here we just loop all our interlocutors and make sure that we didn't spawn camera yet for this interlocutor, and spawn it and save to the map. And now we need to set position of each camera. So let's say here are our characters from top. We want to have cameras at the same side of this line, like here and here. But so we have some rotation offset, and also I would add some shift here, like here, camera. I'm not artist. So camera looking here, and of course second camera looking here. That's what we want to build now. Of course, cameras, they may be located from this side or from this side, right? Let's create all the settings we need. Let's set default distance to, for example, 1 meter. Degrees offset 30 degrees. This function isn't gonna be universal, so let's imagine we have more characters. How to choose a side for the camera? This or this? This or this? I'm not gonna do this right now. I'm gonna use very dumb solution which works only for 2 characters. Here we are gonna update our camera. Right, we just set one side for NPC and opposite rotation side for player character. This wouldn't work for more than 2 characters. Or it wouldn't work for 2 NPC token. get actor. Now we got this vector actually. So we got this vector and we are gonna turn it to rotation. Right, this is our rotation. Actually, no. It should be opposite, right? So camera is looking this way. And multiply by our side. Now it looks like this. We got rotation and now we need to calculate location. We need to take this, our position, move it to the side a bit and then move in our looking direction but opposite. If I remember, need not be normalized. Okay. Let's take right vector. Let's take forward vector, multiply by -1. We took this vector, it's normalized to 1. We took this vector, this with opposite direction, also normalized. We should multiply this by distance to character. And this offset, let's use the same variable. For example, 15 centimeters. Here we got our offset from this point, from this point. So we need to add it. We need to combine all together. The one thing I missed, yes, I missed our vertical Z coordinate, but let's fix it later. Find our camera actor and update its position. Let's check it. No, something is completely wrong. Oh, probably, yeah, probably we don't. Yes, we don't have interlocutor yet. So here we got null pointer. We didn't start our dialogue yet, so our dialogue component has no person interaction. Again, this isn't gonna work for more than 2 characters. We initialized positions when our player was here. We have small offset from to the right, but offset in degrees and run that. Minus. Add 50 centimeters. Probably 10 would be enough. Actually, do we? No, let's use centimeters. 10 centimeters. I want to control all cameras from this actor, my dialogue actor, and use events in base character. Phrase speak request. Phrase completed, because when phrase completed I want to switch camera to player. And conversation finished. I want to turn off all cameras. Let's do it. Set camera to character. Update cameras. We want to update their positions. And we will need to polish and slightly change these events later to fix small glitches on transitions between cameras and so on. And disable all cameras. The easiest function. Disable dialog cameras. Camera to player.
Many years have passed, but you haven't changed at all, Uncle.
And little is left of the girl I knew.
That's why I'm here, for your help.
I heard the rumors 3 days ago. Should I believe what they said about you?
Okay, now you can see that everything works, but we have a few issues. First of all, camera position. We want, I think, to decrease our angle offset, not 30 degrees, but less. Probably make it closer to our character. Also, our characters, they have different height, so we want to use different settings for them.
And what do they say?
I can see it with half an eye. You've always valued your life more than
This
anything
camera
else.
should be higher.
More than loyalty.
You can't blame me for this.
Your life has a value, but how much? It's all about the price. How many times have you broken the law these days? How many lives have you overstepped to get to me without a second thought?
Let's return to our cameras. They are not perfect, they require polishing. But also, we need to change a lot of things here. For example, we need to turn them off while we play level sequences. We will do polishing after we add everything we need, except one thing. One thing I want to add now. Create this variable in our parent blueprint. For Uncle John it's gonna be 65, and for Senora 55. And our update camera, make vector.
Many years have passed, but you haven't changed at all, Uncle.
And little is left of the
Okay,
girl I
height
knew.
is now good.
That's why I'm here, for your help.
Other sets are not good, but we will adjust them later. Okay, let's now do our first simple cut skin. Here should be greater than 0. It's gonna be very simple. Our player walks in, Uncle John waits her, and he should say,
You came earlier than I expected. You came earlier than I expected.
he should say this phrase.
You came earlier than I expected.
Let's create new subfolder and create level sequence. And Uncle John. No, we don't need rig. We also need player, but player is spawned, so we should add the same blueprint actor here. And let's add also without rig. We also want to add tag. Later we will use this tag to bind our spawned player actor instead of this dummy actor. So this track will be played on our player, which we are gonna spawn and bind to this track. Auto key. Let's save and start our cutscene.
You came, you came earlier than I expected. You came earlier than I expected. You came earlier than
That's almost all. But we need also event track. If you remember our dialogue, we are waiting for this condition. Init cut skin finished greater than 0. Oh, by the way, don't loop, not autoplay, restore state yes, and hide player no, because we are gonna bind our player and disable movement input yes. Now let's add camera. Actually, I will disable and make it wider. Linear and linear. And the second camera looking at John.
you came early. You came earlier than you came than I did. You came than I.
And fade. Okay. Let's reset our map. Oh yeah, okay. We still need to implement play sequence event. Bind tone finished. Because as I said before, we need to disable cameras. Remember, we need to bind our level sequence to some key. Let's try now. As you can see, we forgot to bind our player actor to NPC.
You came earlier than I expected.
But everything works as expected, so after our level cutscene finished, this condition became true and dialogue continued at these two nodes.
Many years have passed, but you haven't changed at all, Uncle.
And little is left of the girl I knew.
Actually, in this cutscene, we don't need to bind our spawn player. Let's just hide player. This should be fine. Let's try. You saw small glitches, but we will fix it and polish at the end.
You came earlier than I expected.
Okay,
You know then why I'm here, Uncle. I need your help.
I heard the rumors 3 days ago.
we did almost everything except polishing and except the most complicated part, interactive level sequence. Let's talk about dialogue component. It has two modes. Default mode is when we just get this event, execute phrase speak in our character, and play provided sound asset, dialogue or sound wave. But it has manual mode, this checkbox, which allows you to control how to play your sound asset. In this case, for example, if you look at our animations like this one, she takes gun this in this part, and then here she should say, I can force you.
I can force you. I can force you.
Okay, I'm not gonna be very accurate right now.
I can force you.
But you got the point. So when we play this one node, we shouldn't just speak. We should wait till this notify and then play our voice sample. So we need to enable this mode. In this event we are gonna save our sound to variable, and after we get notification, speak it and call set current phrase duration, which is just a duration of our voice asset. So let's do it. Let's create a new notify, call it manual dialog voice.
I can force you.
Custom event. And as we have baked lip sync, we just play it as audio. Dialog is manual phrase set duration. Then do nothing. We just saved it to use later. And otherwise play. And don't forget, we should set duration. And then clean it, because we don't want to, if something goes wrong, we don't want to play it twice. Is valid. And of course animation blueprint. So very simple. You got the idea, I hope. If not, you will see it later. We also need new actions. Of course, first is dialog mode normal. We not gonna use it, I think. Dialog mode by notification. Then set label sequence and play sequence segment. Okay. We need now to implement all new events. These two are simple. Normal and normal by notification. And then set level sequence. Not complicated. Just save it and let's do what we forgot to do in play sequence. So add binding by tag player NPC. So as we are gonna execute this action on our player character on Sinora, so we safely can use self-reference. I mean this one tag, player NPC. That's it. We want to bind our character self-spawned player to this track. And this action is gonna be more complicated and we will do it later after we start our sequence. So let's open dialog. Let's add helper node. Initialize interactive sequence. Clear sound, it's helper node, and yes, these two should be autoplay. Now let's set dialog mode notify on all. We should set this on all our characters, and set level sequence. Okay, we will put it later. On our player, we want to control our sequence from player actor. Autoplay this one, and here you probably already know what we are gonna do here. Play sequence segment, for example, S1. Let's also add new node for Sinora. Let's call it debug start. And autoplay this, right? And here use debug start key. So let's try.
And you know my answer. You won't get help from me.
Damn it, Uncle John. I'm not asking you to stand against your stupid Orden. Just tell me where to find it.
A stupid or.
Okay, just set transform.
And you know my answer. You won't get help from me.
Okay, we will use this for debug purpose. Now everything is ready to start our interactive level sequence. But before that, let's do one not important but useful thing. Here we have our default input. Let's add one more input action, interrupt phrase. I created these events, but we don't use them. And spacebar, for example. So let's try it.
And you know
Damn it, Uncle.
a stupid.
So nothing happens here because our action now activated, and in our base character we don't speak, right? We are waiting for animation, and animation is going to be played from level sequence, and this animation will trigger this event to play sound and continue dialogue. In one animation sequence, actually I don't have lip sync, just to show you how to process such situations. For example, you have only body animation and not facial animation. We will use another animation notify. Here is, for example, manual dialogue voice, and we also are gonna create manual dialogue lip sync. And in a similar event, from the saved asset, we will find lip sync and play it instead of this set sound and play.